Hi y'all. Okay, so as you can see, the kitchen is a disaster because we were just doing our photo shoot for the cookbook. So we've been cooking all day. But one of the things we made was the teriyaki seared tuna burger. And I'm going to show you guys how to do seared tuna right now. So follow me. First things first, I like to have a paper plate. And then you need lots and lots of paper towels. The key to a really good sear on your tuna burger, or any fish really, is to have it really dry. So don't put wet fish in there. It's just going to kind of steam and poach. You always want to keep your fish cold until you're ready to open it up. And this is the ahi tuna steak. And we live in West Texas, so they're all frozen. But before you go, y'all that live somewhere coastal, you can probably get fresh. So what you're going to want to do is take it out, and you want to go ahead and rinse it off in cold water just to get that frozen glaze off of it. It is thawed out, but still it was on there at one point. So then you're going to stick it on your paper towel and really make sure that you get it really, 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 really dry. Okay? Alright, now we're going over here. So I've got my skillet. It's a non-stick skillet. I'm not going to use any oil at all because it's non-stick. So you don't have to do that. Oil is going to add calories and just unnecessary calories. So if we can eliminate some calories, then we want to do that. So look how dry this tuna steak is now. It's not glossy wet at all. That's what I want. I'm going to crack black pepper right on top. I'm going to turn my heat up high, and I'm going to get kosher salt, and I'm just going to put a little kosher salt on this side, and I'm going to just pat it on there. And then once my pan is super hot, we're going to let it kind of get a little bit hotter for a second. We'll talk about kosher salt really quickly. This is kosher salt. You can find it in any grocery store. And there's iodized salt, which is your regular table salt we grew up with. There's sea salt, and there's a bunch of different kinds of sea salt. And then there's kosher salt. Kosher salt is really flavorful. It's got a really clean taste to it. So first of all, you're going to use less because it tastes better. Also, it's got a third less sodium than any of the other salts. So iodized has the most, then sea salt, then kosher. So if you're using less because it's better flavor, and it has less sodium on top of it, you're really using low sodium with kosher salt. And that's kind of what you want. So that way you get to flavor your food, because salt's important. You need salt in your body, but it also adds with, flavor, and it helps with taste of things. So you definitely want to use kosher salt. That's all I ever use. Our skillet's super hot. I know that because I can feel it. You can do the little water test if you're going to do something else, but again, we want a really dry tuna, so I don't really want to do the water test on there. But we're going to put our tuna steak on here now. And you can hear that. That's what you want to hear. Alright. I am going to take this pepper towel and just make sure that the other side is nice and dry, and now I'm going to season the other side. Same way, black pepper, and a little bit of kosher salt. That is all the seasonings this tuna steak needs. We're going to put it on a plate when it's done and pour teriyaki sauce over it, and that's going to help flavor it some more. But this is great just like this. You can slice this up and put it on a salad. We're going to make a burger out of it, but it's just wonderful like it is, so you don't have to add a lot of stuff to it. You're going to let it cook a couple, 2 or 3 minutes on both sides. The key to tuna, people don't want to have it raw, but you really need to cook your tuna steaks rare. So you want a nice brown sear on both sides, and it should be pink in the middle. People think that makes it taste fishy. It's actually the opposite. The more you cook your tuna, the fishier it gets. So if you're not a fan and you're just kind of hinky and on the fence about trying tuna again because you haven't liked it in the past, trust me, order it rare. It will not be as fishy as if you order it well done. So if you zoom in for me, you can kind of start to see a little bit of, let me spin this, maybe you can see a little bit better on the other side. You can start to see how it's starting to cook. And you can actually watch the cook line rise up the side of the tuna here. And that's how you know kind of when it's done. Tuna's really easy to know. First of all, you know, it should come off the pan pretty easily. And you don't want to just fiddle fart around with it. You want to make sure that it's sitting on the fire as long as it can and get a good sear there without picking it up and looking, picking it up and looking. So you can do this line test, and it's starting to rise a little bit, and you'll start seeing the juices puddle as well. And that's a key. So you want to flip it before, you can kind of see there, we've got a nice brown crusty sear. We're going to turn it over, and we're going to do the same thing. And you can see it really well now, in contrast, the top part that's a little cooked and the bottom. So we're just doing the same thing, 2 or 3 minutes on this other side. We're going to let this kind of sit here and cook a little bit longer. Here's one we did earlier, and we went ahead and put it in our teriyaki sauce, and you'll just let it kind of sit there and flip. The cool thing about tuna is that it can be, you can see that nice pink center with the cooked lines on either side, and it's nice and seared on both sides. The cool thing with tuna is that it can be served at room temperature or warm or cold. So it's really versatile. You can cook it ahead of time and not have to worry about trying to cook a lot for people and keep it hot. And that's kind of a timing thing that takes some time getting down, is timing your, here we go, we're perfect, timing your meal so that everything is nice and hot all at the same time. Well, the cool thing with tuna is it's fail-safe, so you can serve at room temperature and you're just fine and dandy. So we're just going to let it soak up some of this yummy teriyaki sauce as well. And then we will put our burger together. So this is a recipe that you're going to get in the cookbook. And the wasabi, honey wasabi mayo, you will get that recipe in the cookbook, and it's very easy to make. You don't need a tutorial on that. Really, cooking the tuna is the hardest part of the whole thing, and you can see how simple that was. So hopefully, guys, y'all will use this technique and y'all will get to start eating tuna more frequently. It's not very expensive. They're only about, I don't know, $4 or $5 a steak, which isn't too bad. And now you know how to cook it yourself. It's a lot cheaper and healthier for you. And get the cookbook and you can get all the recipes for this teriyaki tuna burger. I hope y'all enjoy it. Thanks. Bye.